welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt. Thanks for listening. And Mike, what is the name of the episode today?
Well, we're on episode 19 somehow.
Props.
And today's episode is Pudding Island Drams.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, my friend, what have you been drinking then recently? What's been in your glass?
What have you been drinking, Mike, my friend?
So, what's been in my glass? There's a lot of beer. Essentially, I have been going to town on just lager and not a lot else. There's been very limited dramming.
So you've been on all the rubbish units.
Yeah, completely wasting units. It's because the whiskey room and podcast room is now at the bottom of the garden, and that 20-meter jaunt is clearly too much for me. So
amazing.
I've just been going the 10-meter jaunt to the fridge and grabbing a beer.
Like you just put a bottle in the house.
Yeah, I know. I have moved one in now. So
just move like three of your favourite bottles inside.
I've just gone random. I moved in a Nika from the barrel. So there's one of those in there, and I've got the what else have I got in there?
It's okay.
The artist blend compass box I recommended for summer slaps from Jeff. But yeah, so that's been there. But what I'm drinking at the moment is something I've gone back to because I didn't slate it as such, but I just said it wasn't as good as I was hoping, and that is the Glengoyne Teapot Dram.
You did say you're disappointed with that.
Yeah, it's the batch 9 release. I can't remember how long it's been open now, but now it's had a completely different whiskey. Honestly, after like a couple of months, I literally tasted it just before we came on and did a little dance on screen and clapped like a little seal.
Yeah, you did. You did a little seal clap. Yeah.
So
you were happy because it's not a waste. Because then you know it's not a waste of money.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just need a little bit of. I think sometimes you're best if you open them, have the neck pour, and then leave it like 3 months. If you really want to enjoy that whiskey.
That's why it's hard to do. It's probably another sort of topic, like how octalization affects new whiskey, because
you're starting to sound nerdy.
I know. When you're doing tastings and stuff, you're probably getting like stuff distilled straight from bottles. So it's had no oxygen. It's hit you again. It's had no time, and you go straight into like a tasting or something.
This is why you really need a whole bottle to be able to review something, or at least you need to have, the different stages of the bottle.
Yeah, that's how I justify my 300 open.
I invariably find generally that the first pour is not the best pour.
Yeah.
Usually it's either very good, or just okay, and then it gets better and better and better. And then something can happen when you're down to the last third. It can either get even better, or occasionally it can drop off and get worse if oxidation takes it the wrong way.
Exactly.
And usually if it's got a higher ABV, so i.e. it is stronger, usually it doesn't get worse.
No.
Because obviously there's a lot of alcohol to erode, right?
This one's good, man. It's like heavy on the sherry, which is kind of what I remember from the Teapot Dram, but it's also got loads of sweetness going on there. It's got that slight bitter note, which I do quite like in sherry. It's not too sulfur. There's a drop of sulfur, so if you probably like get affected by sulfur, maybe this one's not for you. But doesn't bother me. Lovely. I think the strength is at 58.9, which is a beautiful level. So it'll take a bit of water. Not that you do in my case. I'll go straight because I'm so hard.
Well hard.
Yeah, because I'm well hard like a dog. I'm really happy I've gone back to that and chosen that one for today.
Good choice.
If I pour another one during the pod, I've got the inaugural Rassay release poured and ready to go, which came out of my lucky dip box of samples.
Right.
So that's where I am. So.
And anything been up your ass this week? Anything been bothering you?
Not a lot been bothering me this week.
You've been super chill. You look chill, to be honest.
I am vertical. No, horizontal. I'm not standing up.
Horizontal, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. No, that's how relaxed I am. I'm stood up.
It always does the podcast standing up. Sometimes in clothes, sometimes not.
Yeah, generally not. Camera at waist height. That's why Duncan pauses a long time, because he's just like...
He's in the dark as well.
God.
So you don't know to start off with. And then sometimes someone will come in with a torch.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, did I need to see that?
Just put the UV light on and it's like...
In the shed.
It's like a Jackson Pollock painting. Yeah. But no, nothing's really been getting on my nerves.
That's nice to hear. So you've had a positive week then.
It's been really nice. Do you know what I mean? It's been lovely.
That's lovely.
So, yeah. How about you? What have you been drinking? What's in your glass?
Well, in my glass right now is Glenmurray Warehouse Oloroso, fully matured, the one from 2014. This bottle is over half gone now. Natural colour, cast strength, non-chill filtered, all the good stuff. 60%. A warehouse one, that's the one. It's the one that's, sherried, but also meaty. It's very full-bodied. I've put a couple of drops of water in it just to calm it down slightly.
Yeah.
I'm drinking this in support of the distillery, who I hope to get through round 1 of the Master of Malt distillery competition that kicked off recently.
They deserve to.
I think they do. It's one of the ones where they're still pumping out really great whiskey at lower prices, and everyone should get behind them if they can. Now, obviously, there's loads of distilleries that I support. Yeah. I'm just saying, I thought I'd have a dram for them today. And I've also noticed there's a couple of
You're like, for my fallen homies, just having a dram for Glen Moray.
Glen Moray. Yeah, so I hope they get free. But if they don't, whatever. I'll buy another bottle. That's the way I'll help them.
Nice.
I'll do my bit. So that, and I also have been trying, a variety of stuff, but I did also try some of the Camel whiskies, the 46% ones, and I have to say, the Bunnahabhain one from their range is actually exceptional. They've really knocked it out of the park there. Yeah, I mean, people will look at the price point and say, it's quite a high price, and I agree.
Talk to me. What's the price?
I think it's about 90 quid or something for the bottle, so it is pricey.
At 46%.
Yes, it's high. It is exceptional though. It's we're talking sort of Tamdu levels of quality. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
That's the sponsorship.
Yeah, it's just ticking all the boxes. And it's silky, delicious. It's a bit special.
Yeah.
And then I also really like the Ardmore from them. They had a few, like there's a Glenrothes, there's Glengarry. What else is there? There is a Craig Alaki. So
Craig,
my favorite.
Does he work there?
Yeah, my favorite one though was definitely the Bunna and the Ardmore.
Nice.
And the Ardmore really had a lot going on in it. I felt like just checking my notes, but just to say, proper tasting, I'd written down for the Ardmore like a smoky Chardonnay wine, very old pot puree. Do you remember that pot?
Potpourri.
Yeah. Potpourri, that's it. Potpourri. Forest leaves, dried out lemons, damp wood, refreshers, sweets, vanilla pods. That was the nose.
Nice.
And on the palate, it was vegetal, spicy in the mouth, sweet potato, licorice, red bush tea. Finish, vanilla and oak, rice pudding, hint of caramel, Cornish rich fudge, and then it goes back to vegetal. Oof. And I thought it was quite complex.
You've
bit of smoke in there, obviously.
Deep on your notes. You're doing a me.
Yeah, and then the Bunna, because I'm just going to pick those two out because they're my favourite. The Bunna nose, sherry trifle, and what was interesting is Whiskey Chap, because I did the tasting Whiskey Chap, he got the same note on the nose as me, sherry trifle. So it's there.
Yeah.
If you both say it, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
You're not imagining it. Sherry trifle, oak, polished wood, little bit of sulphur, but good sulphur, loads of raisins and prunes, like boozy raisins and prunes, palate, pleasant, creamy.
To be speaking to your dad.
Yeah.
Palate,
how was it,
nice.
son? Son, how was it? Pleasant. It was oily, and then there was just this moment where the DNA from Bunnahabhain came through, and just this one moment of like the coastalness, and then the sherry like dragged it back down, like it was reaching out of like it was like the DNA of the whiskey was trying to escape up, and then the sherry just crept up from
like
the
a sea monster
and dragged it back down.
You got a Spanish octopus coming out of a nice bay in Scotland,
exactly.
Rhode Isla,
and so whilst it was very. So then I put finished dry sherry, red berries, nutty, Brazil nuts specifically, raisins and prunes again, boozy raisins and prunes. And then I think there was some black cherries in there as well, maybe some dates, a bit of orange and cinnamon. But here's the thing, whilst it was not that complex, I mean, there's a reasonable amount going on there, but it wasn't like, it was just delicious. And sometimes that's all you want. And
massively. I
just think I'm going to keep an eye out for that one. Maybe if there's a little cheeky £10 off or whatever, or something like that, I'll give it a consideration.
What age was the Bunna? Did you say, or is it? I
think it was 12 years old. The Bunna.
Oh, do you know what? I know it's 46%.
Ardmore was 10.
and people are going to moan and be like, it's too expensive. But again, controversial view. The way I look at it, if you ask someone to look after something for you for a year, you would happily pay them £10 a year to keep something safe for you. What they've done is they've crafted a spirit, and then they've aged it and looked after it for you. 14 years, 10 a year, 140 quid. I know it's up there. It's a stupid way of looking at it, but it's how I justify spending a bit of money. So, yeah, it's not over the top.
These are all produced by Charles Edge, the sort of Canmore range. And we'll post something about what it is. But I would say that it's rare. Like the Bun is that good. That's what I would say. And then the Ardmore, if you like Ardmore, and I love Ardmore, it's a very good one. And the other three are good as well. But they were my two favourite, and they were the two where I'd be like more than happy to have a bottle in the cupboard sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really like 46%. I think it's my favourite ABV.
Midweek, mate. Midweek.
46 to 50% is usually the sweet spot. But when you drink lots of higher strength whiskey like we do, sometimes you just get used to drinking it stronger. Right? You can always dial it down. You can't dial it up.
Yeah,
that's
thing, why it's good to do a palate reset and do 40s. That's why we've done a couple of 40s recently. So
and then I saw something else that I thought we could have a wee natter about. Somebody and I posted you the link to this as well. Somebody has been very creative in looking at the top 10 most visited distilleries, and they've used a combination of things to judge these. So I thought we'd have a look at it. Now, obviously, this was published in the Spirits Business as the top 10 most
popular.
I feel a bit like, is it clickbait? I don't know. Popular, that's right. So popular, then that means they're taking into account things like the number of reviews, social media type ratings. What have they put here? They've said Google ratings and reviews, number of TripAdvisor ratings and reviews, social media metrics, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They mean X. Okay. Obviously, Twitter's so 2020. X. So 2023 June and before. So if data was unavailable, i.e. you had no social media presence, you probably got a 0. So some of the really cool kind of like rustic distilleries who don't do anything, just because
don't check their messages and notifications about as much as us.
Who are communicated with only by carrier pigeon and reachable only by bus. Those ones probably didn't do so well. So but everybody else could get a maximum score of 2,310. Wow,
2,310 is the max.
Representing
random.
Distillery popularity index. So I guess we can commend them for their creativity here.
Yeah. Who wrote it? Let's have a look. So Melita Keeley. And I'm going through this live with you. So I haven't seen this before.
No. And I just noticed it and I thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So if you do them in reverse order then. So in at number 10 is Teeling Distillery.
Been there, visited, standard thing to do now when you go to Dublin.
Right, yeah.
Have you been there?
Have I been to Ireland? Yes. To Teeling, no. I've been to Guinness. I didn't
really
bother.
Cool distillery, mate, to be honest with you.
Right.
They were nice, good tours, very friendly staff. Not enough whiskey sampling when I went, but that was like probably like 6-7 years back. So
not enough for you, or not enough for a normal person.
Not enough for me.
Right. So sorry, that's not it. Could be enough for a normal person. Could be totally adequate. Dearie me. There's a fella out there with a cone on his head. Says he wants it filled up. He says just top him up. He'll take whatever. He'll take Core Range.
Take whatever.
He'll take Core Range. He doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Next one's Holyrood in at number 9. Holyrood Distillery.
Obviously haven't been and haven't even tasted it. Is it even out yet? Launched its new cask program last year, so in 2022.
I mean, if it's already getting visited that much, I think this whole listing kind of skewed towards like new distilleries. So 8 is Arbiki, and then you've got 7 Spirit of Yorkshire.
Okay,
6
talk about that because we've actually done the tastings. That was decent.
6 is it Mysil in Ireland?
Well, we may as well get the pronunciation wrong straight
for it. How do you pronounce that one?
I'm going to go with Missil.
Missil. I'm Missil in action.
Yeah.
Okay, So
we're talking, if we're going back to music, it's Lauren Hill. Miss Hill.
Miss Hill,
Yeah.
Number 5, you boys in Wales, Penderyn.
Penderyn.
Yeah,
Yes.
Penderyn.
I'm surprised that's on that
Penderyn, eh?
list. Because it's in the middle of nowhere in Wales. You've got to do a good old drive from Cardiff.
Well, this is the bit that makes me feel like probably the list has been really thought through, because number 4 is Bruichladdich. So, and they do loads of marketing.
Yeah.
Like they're really switched on with their marketing. 3 is Isle of Raasay.
Oof. Oh, do you know what? Just because it's come up, I'm going to have a little dram of the inaugural.
Right.
Let's go.
Number 2, Kilchoman. They've done a lot of marketing as well, but that's another new one. And then number 1 is Cotswolds in England. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, that's very central up north, isn't it? And they do loads of marketing as well.
That's a list of new distilleries, surely.
It mostly is, isn't it? But maybe that's because new distilleries make more of an effort on social media and...
Or, I suppose, if you're setting something up, new distillery,
right,
you've got to wait for that whiskey, obviously, to age and stuff. Like, obviously, Raasay and stuff are now releasing stuff in Kilchoman and everyone else, Cotswolds. But go back a few years, they were sitting on stock, just aging it. So they were having to make money by doing tours of like the distillery, cafes, things like that. So they focus so much on like
foot traffic,
visitor centres and stuff. Yeah.
And there's a lot of Scottish distilleries that aren't even open. You can't even visit. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, and like Bruichladdich, when I went there a few years back, it was rammed. And I wouldn't say they were doing anything special on a tour, but they just seemed to be sort of more accepting of larger groups and things, and they were happy to shove people through. I'm not saying it was corporate or anything, but they were just a bit more open than some of the others, maybe. I can't say that for Kilchoman because I drove up and nearly crashed my car on their driveway before they had it all done.
On their driveway? You make
it
it sound like you're going around your grand's house.
Oh, mate, I was in a BM1 series and I tried to basically drive off-road to get to Kilchoman and got up the driveway.
Hooligan.
And, it was closed. it's like, okay, it's a proper farm distillery. So yeah,
it looks beautiful. I've not visited there, but I've seen videos of it, and it does look.
We need to do an Isla trip.
Loads of people want to go to Scotland. People keep asking me, so we need to just get something organised.
Maybe we should do a honest to a malt trip and just see if anyone fancies coming along at the same time as us.
Yeah, couldn't we? Then we could record some pods on the move.
Yeah, pods on the move. But you know what? That is a really good list. So of places to visit. If you throw in some older stuff nearby, I think that is a really good starting point for anyone that's looking to do.
I mean, I just thought it was interesting to give. Someone's obviously taken time to put that together. They haven't given all the workings, but I thought it was interesting to share it. And you mentioned to me that you tried to help somebody at a supermarket this week and maybe didn't. What happened there?
Well, no, I tried my best. So
you tried your best.
I tried my best.
Hang on, were you wearing that T-shirt that you wear when you want people to ask you questions about whiskey? You told me sometimes you just stand at supermarkets during the day and I just basically
creep and peep at the end of the whiskey aisle.
Just wait.
And just wait for someone.
You don't want to look
down.
like you were already there. You want to just be, and then you casually walk past and drop something.
As soon as I see someone in a slight bit of confusion, I'll just go, ha ha, do you like whiskey? Meet my friend. I just try and play it cool. So over like the last 2 years, I've kind of like mastered the technique now of just introducing myself to people.
But you were just, but generally
genuinely went out shopping.
Somebody needed help.
Yeah, Lara's fully up the duff, so I am doing the big shops and stuff now. So
you quickly ran into a phone box, changed into your Superman outfit, straight over to the aisle.
Yeah, and I went up and he was like looking around, and it's like, oh, right, okay, what kind of whiskey do you like? And he's like, oh, I like smoky stuff. Okay. He's been to Isla. His name's Rob. I didn't get his second name. And apologies, Rob.
Did you get any of his DNA? Just in case, you never know.
All over my back. What? No, joking. So I recommended the Bunnahabhain. Oh, I'm going to mess this up. Struriator?
Why did you pick that one?
Because it was there and on the shelf of all the stuff available. It wasn't actually, although there was loads of bottles in Sainsbury's, wasn't actually that good a selection.
Yeah, sounds about right for Sainsbury's.
Yeah, and because he said he liked peated, I recommended that.
You'd have been out of luck if you were going for stout as well, because they probably just had like 1 or 0 stouts in stock.
I got a milk stout from there. But yeah, so basically, I walked away all happy. Rob took our details on. And still, Molly's going to check out the podcast. He's probably going to listen to this now, going, "He doesn't know shit." Because essentially, when I got home, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was a
It's
nice
not
thing
smoky
for you
at
to
all.
do." It's not smoky. It's unpeated.
Yeah, I could have told you that, but I wasn't there.
The Toitiach release, Toitiach Da, which is the peated version with the Schrudier.
Whoops.
Which is now the French release of what I just said earlier.
Well, if he's listening, just get yourself a bottle of Ardbeg 10 and just give it an Ardbeg tickle. Like old Bert says, just drop a wee bit of Ardbeg in there and you'll be happy.
I feel bad because I moved him away from the Ardbeg Wee Beastie onto that. Yeah. Sorry, Rob. I tried to help.
No, it's not ruined. All you need to do is just put just a drop of peated whiskey in there and it will come, it'll be absolutely lovely.
So a cask strength Lefroy, something like that. Drop it in there.
Yeah, just like what, like 5 to 10% of the bottle. That's it. Just basically have a couple of drams and pour a bit of peat in
Probably
there.
less than that, to be honest. You can probably do like
I can save it.
couple of mils into a other whiskey will make a hell of a difference if you got a really peaty one.
Yeah. So
or a peaty one. Swallowing.
I love the fact that you really wanted to help somebody and you really didn't. That's
Got
brilliant.
so excited. Yeah.
Right, so Pudding Island Drams.
Yes.
I don't
Pudding
know-
Island.
I don't know where I dreamt this up, but I think this is
It
definitely
was you picturing me in a little like
Mankini.
mankini.
That's right. That's all. Yeah. Well, that's the picture I have.
Serving you drinks.
Yeah, that's the picture.
Yeah.
Just pina colada after pina colada. So,
What color?
pina colada.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Pina.
Don't be crude. Yeah, that would be my. That's if we were on holiday. That's my drink of choice. Right.
Yeah. No one's judging, mate. You're in a safe place now.
Thanks so much. So it's loosely based on Desert Island discs, but it's Pudding Island Drams. And the difference is you're not going to stay there for the rest of your life. No one's going to stay on a desert island for the rest of their life. And if you were staying on a desert island for the rest of your life or whatever, the last thing you'd be worried about would be what music you had with you.
Do you know what? It's quite a depressing. I've never really thought of that until you just
so
said
depressing.
It,
and so
Desert Island Disc is basically what do you want to listen to as you slowly
die. I know. And so I find it a bit depressing. It is kind of savage, isn't it? I don't think people think about that. People think about it as a really uplifting, positive thing. But actually, if you're stuck on a desert island, what would be going through my mind is, how long will I survive? And how miserable is it going to be? So, so in the spirit of that, you're only going to be stuck on a desert island for a month. But on your Todd, which it can be boring enough. I mean, a month with no phone, right? Mm-hmm. So all you've got is you're allowed one pudding.
Yeah.
You're allowed.
So we've washed up on this island.
Yeah.
And there's no phone. Luckily, there's a fridge that's keeping it just happens to be a fridge there. Don't ask, don't go into it. That's good.
Or freezer.
Or freezer.
That can store the single dessert that you're allowed to keep in it. It's a very specific size of appliance. It's made specially for this show, which isn't aired on TV, called Pudding Island Drams. Did we mention that? So you're allowed to choose one pudding that you can have one of, and you're allowed to have, or maybe you're allowed unlimited amount of this pudding. We could just say that but you allowed one whiskey, right? Mm-hmm. One bottle, or let's say one bottle of whiskey, or maybe we could say you're allowed that whiskey to drink whilst you're there. I mean, how much can you really get through in a month anyway? I mean, a fair amount, but not bottomless. I mean, you probably still got to keep your wits about you on a desert island. It could be anything going on.
Crabs everywhere.
Yeah, crabs, wild boar, whatever. Like if you watch Lost, then you'd be in loads of problems, wouldn't you? And then the other one was you'll have one album to listen to.
Yep.
Or, obviously, you can listen to music as much as you want, which means you're probably allowed to have some kind of like music listening device as well, I guess. So we probably say you can choose the device too these days. It's very 2023. Yeah. And I assume that whatever device you choose, you're allowed to power it. They never really say that, do they, on their desert island?
No.
Just either. I guess the assumption is, So, and then also you're going to get picked up. So then you get to also choose who's going to pick you up from the island to take you back home. Right?
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm there.
That's what I mean.
I'm in the hula skirt already.
And I'm sure, you can do some other survival stuff like make a wooden hut or whatever. That's up to you, isn't it? You got a month.
Chill in the fridge.
Yeah. Got a month. Guess maybe you got a hammock or whatever. So, Mike.
Yes.
Where do you want to start with? Your pudding first.
Obviously. There is no question, anyone that knows me, it is.
Well, what about robbing the supermarket?
Rob knows now.
Yeah, he knows as well, does he?
Yeah, he's seen me. He's like, that's a cheesecake guy. Specifically New York cheesecake.
Right.
So like a nice baked cheesecake. There is nothing like it. It's the note I love in whiskies. I look for that. That's like my favorite whiskies of all time. Have all got that little funky cheesecake note of a New York.
Oh, you do talk about that. So that would be your choice. Do you remember the first time you had that? Was it in New York or was it somewhere else?
Yep, in New York when I used to do Camp America. When I was a general counselor looking after spoiled American children, who I now call my friends, weirdly, because they were all. That was 2002 for a few years, so that was a long time ago, and they're all fully fledged adults now. I like to think I shaped them away from being idiots.
So where did you normal people? You had this like at a supermarket, you had it at a restaurant, people just chucking it at you in the street. What's the deal?
What, the New York cheesecake?
Yeah,
so summer camp. You had professional
breakfast, lunch, and dinner
every day.
3 portions of it a day.
Only in the afternoon. Come on, I know they're American and they're all fat, but no, just dessert for their evening meals. But yeah, always go for the New York cheesecake if it's available. So yeah, and I've been to New York quite a few times since, and will always try and hunt down like the best cheesecake I can get. So let's keep on top of my cheesecake reviews from New York.
And then
so that's my dessert.
Right, well, that seems like a pretty good choice. Should we do you do the whole thing first and then, or should we take it in turns? What do you think?
Let's take it in turns because I don't want to cross over anything. So time. Dessert for you.
Dessert for me again. I think it's pretty easy. I started to overthink it, but if I could only have one for, I think it would probably be sticky toffee pudding. And I'm not going to say it's my favorite dessert, but if I wanted to be transported back. It's like if I was when we were a teenager and we used to go on walking holidays with our parents and we go up and we'd stay in cottages or whatever. It was in Scotland or in Yorkshire, or Pennine Way, all that kind of stuff. Wherever my parents decided. Never in Wales, Mike.
Racist.
I went to Wales only when I got older by choice. I don't think my mum even likes Wales. She's pretty anti-Welsh, I suppose. In fact, if she knew you're Welsh, I probably wouldn't be allowed on the pod.
Yeah. Oh, please, Mummy. I know he's a Welshman, but he's an awfully nice chap.
There'd be words at home, I think. Anyway, so...
sorry, I forgot we pretend you're from East London. East London, London.
So, sticky toffee pudding would be my choice. Probably with...
Classic.
With either... because we're on a hot desert island, I'm not going to say custard. I'm going to have it with some fresh vanilla pod ice cream. It's
that's
really
you know you're a posh boy when you've got.
But this has got to be really. This has got to be like a really good sticky toffee pudding. None of this just straight out of the packet nonsense. Although I'd settle for that.
Would you not like some squirty cream?
No, I'd be just happy with the ice cream, to be honest. Just as long as it's really vanilla-y. That'd be my choice. I think there's other puddings that I could probably. I think near close second would have been strawberry cheesecake, probably. Yeah. But for me,
you only get one.
So it's got to be sticky toffee pudding.
Island.
Yeah, and
it's good.
Then I could just, even if I was on my own, at least I could feel, happy inside for that 5 minutes eating it.
There we go. Chef, both orders are in.
Do you care? I don't care, man. Well, fucking show me something then, yes? Thank you, Chef.
Thank you. Cheers, Chef.
So that's pudding done. So next one would be, let's do whiskey next, right? So you allow one whiskey for a month, 30 days basically.
And we're in a nice island. I am going all day long. Aaron 10.
Just like that, Aaron 10.
Just like that. No question.
You can have any
whatsoever.
whiskey though.
Nah, you can, but you're stranded. You need something easy going that's still got strength, so you can just drink yourself into a stupor every night to sleep, because you're obviously going to be I miss real life.
Right.
So it's got the ABV. It tastes nice, and it's still to me one of those sort of summer drams. And it's again, not that it matters on the island, but it's a bargain.
Right.
Anyone out there? It's a bargain. Aaron 10. You cannot go wrong with it.
Yeah, it is really good. You can't. Yeah, you're right in a way, but
I feel like I want.
I feel like
there
it
has
needs
to be
bigger
price
than that.
increases. There has to be price increases on R10 coming.
But
there has to be.
But doesn't
to like be in line.
You don't want to go bigger than R10. That's
I'm going to
all
buy
you want.
100 cases.
That's all you
and
want.
just store it in a bunker and live down there forever.
Right. with a picture of Desert Island stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
I just can't believe you didn't go bigger than that. It's just like you get anything.
No, but I'm going to be chilled. I'm going to be full of cheesecake. I need something to complement.
Oh.
So it's got to have a little bit of sweetness to it. And yeah, R10 is checking all the boxes.
All the boxes.
I don't need anything big or that is R10.
That's you done. Right.
Done.
Wow.
Done. What about you? Well, you've gone spectacular, I think.
I mean, if it's free, right, and it's laid on by whoever it is drops me off on this island, I'm going to go bigger than R10. I'm not going to be shy about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I've got a bit of a soft spot for these sort of
15.
No, I'm not going to go bigger than that. These sort of tropical Ben Nevis bottles. So if having tried a whole bunch of them, people always pick out the year 1996, but I mean, whether it's 95 or 96, I mean, or around that time, 94, 93, there was one, if we can go fancy.
A heavily aged Ben Nevis.
Well, specifically, ones that have got loads and loads of tropical fruit notes in. So there's been a few. Generally speaking, they'll either be sherry refill or they'll be, ex-bourbon cask. I'd settle for anything, but like the Whiskey Exchange 25-year-old was excellent. There was a incredible one. And actually, Whiskey Exchange had a whole bunch of them. Like their one from their 22-year-old was incredible. I'd settle for either one of those just on tap. And then I'd be getting all of these tropical fruit notes. I'm not going to end up in a stupor like you. It's just been, who's just been guzzling R10. Yeah. And if anyone does happen to come to the islands, they're going to think I'm sophisticated. I'm
just going to be fat, covered in cream.
I'll spend also. I mean, then I'll actually have enough time to get to know the whiskey because there's a lot going on in some of the, they're kind of a bit oily, kind of a bit musty. You keep discovering new things in them. So, I'd probably get to know it quite well over a month, I would have thought. That'd be.
It sounds like you're going to get romantic with the bottle, which is a different avenue that I went.
It actually comes with a free candle.
I just focused on drinking it.
No, it comes with a free candle, that one, yeah.
Scented.
And bath salts.
What's the bottle shape? Is it different? Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, that would be my pick if I got, because also you're on a desert island, so I want something with where I'm going to get like pineapple notes and papaya notes and I want something that's really interesting.
You want something that tastes like a tropical island.
Yeah.
You're not going to be bored of being on a tropical island.
I've got my sweet tooth filled from the sticky toffee pudding, so like I'm gold, right?
True.
So now I've got this. It's a bit more interesting. So that'd be me set. I'd be really happy.
It's a nice contrast.
What are you going to listen to then for a month?
Oasis. Time flies.
Are you having a fight? Are you?
94 to 09.
Right.
What an eclectic mix of tunes.
Well, you've gone with the best of.
Yeah. 100%. I nearly went with
that's
now.
That's not cheap.
I nearly went with Now 34 from 1996, just to rekindle some youth. But I pulled myself back in. Absolutely amazing.
What's your favourite songs off that then?
So the absolute favourite is, where is it? 2 seconds. Oh,
if I called you out here, do you not really know any Oasis?
No.
Did you just say this to look cool?
No, it's not.
When we were in Japan for a while, if you ever end up on a night out, all the Japanese people knew Oasis. So if they're gonna put a song on for you to sing for karaoke, they just choose Oasis and everyone just start, because they love Oasis. Yeah, they're obsessed because they were like the second coming of the Beatles, weren't they? So it was like the English band of choice for Japanese people to stick on the old karaoke or whatever.
It can't be. I don't want to say Wonderwall because it's just too cliche.
Right.
It does throw it back to some very, very good memories of me, which I can't go into.
I remember being at school, and there was you have bands that play every now and then for you at school. The school band, right?
School band. You were in the school band.
I was in a school band, but I wasn't in this one. But I remember sitting down. It was when I was learning the guitar. There was a really good band that came on the stage, and they played Wonderwall, and they really nailed it. And including the bit where the drums come back in. And I just remember thinking they were so cool, right? Would you want me to bail you out here by sharing my album whilst you maybe rekindle your memory about Oasis?
No.
Do you want me just to talk about Oasis for a bit to help you out?
I'm just going to completely re-edit this because I've said the wrong album.
Did you actually mean Blur? Was that what you actually meant?
No. I can't believe that's like
Champagne
I'm sitting
Supernova.
here, no, because I've looked at the list and I'm going, it's not on there. It's not on there.
So
but I listen to this album all the fucking time.
Right.
So
You can't find it. You just want to search on
So I'm going to edit all this out.
You've got to leave this in. This is hilarious.
Like, I'm really fucked off.
That's so funny. You've got to leave this in. I'm editing this one. Leave it in. Right. So whilst you're remembering about this band called Oasis, I had to think about what I would listen to. I want something really uplifting and positive. Now, this isn't the greatest band ever. This isn't my favourite band ever. This isn't even my favourite album ever. But again, a really positive memory of being like younger. Because it reminds me of visiting the swimming pool in the summer on hot days. And it has this beautiful summer vibe. And it's a band called Reef. Do you remember them? They did like...
Oh, lay me down. And I would go on, but no one knows the lyrics to that song.
Place Your Hands, you mean?
There we go.
Right.
Prove my point.
So anyway, they did a really good album called Replenish in 1995. And it's just easily one of my favourite like uplifting albums of all time. It's like a kind of surf rock type album. Loads just, it's like good feeling in me. It's like, it's an incredible album. That's the album I want to listen to. I could listen to it every day happily, whilst I'm drinking my Nevis, whilst I'm eating my sticky toffee pudding, and I'd be happy as Larry.
It was like the UK's answer to Sublime.
Well, I think it was their first album, or their first proper album. It wasn't the one that became famous with. That was the one with Place Your Hands. This was like the lesser known, less cool, before they made it album. But it is, I would argue, an incredible piece of work. And I think they're still even about. And that would be my choice. And again, there's many albums I prefer, many songs I prefer. I'm just saying, if I was on a desert island, that would be a real moment.
Right.
Yeah? You're holding up to the camera. That. Yeah? It's very blurry, Mike. What are you trying to show me?
It's not Blur, it's Oasis. Get it right.
I'm just digging you out again. Yeah, I can see them.
Track 24.
Yeah?
Whatever.
Yeah?
Doesn't appear on Wikipedia. So when I brought it up quickly, I'm going, have I got the wrong album?
You want visual confirmation from me? I can confirm that. Yeah.
I'm going to let it out. Anyway, so Duncan, it's my favourite song on there is Whatever. It's got very special meanings to me. And it's track 24,
track 24
on iTunes. Doesn't always appear on Wikipedia or anything else, but track 24, mate.
Oh, Whatever. My days.
Really good. But the rest of them are bangers as well.
If you want, we can make a special dispensation for you whilst you're on the island. We can give you a copy of The Godfather 1 and 2 to watch, The Sopranos end to end, and a copy of the book 1984. And it's only for you, Mike. And
yes, and I guarantee I'd still pick it up and go, can't be
bothered.
Lost interest.
Attention span of a
gnat.
Yes. So then you're allowed. You've had this magical time listening to some music that you vaguely remember from being younger. And you've had some lots of Aaron 10 by the sounds of it. Maybe too much, which is why you can't remember the band. And then someone's going to pick you up. Who's going to pick you up from the island?
Dave Grohl, all day long.
Oh, that is so cool.
That is mega. There was never a question. You could go like, oh, I'm going to go historical. But no, why would you? Like the life that man has lived, I would just love to spend a month with Dave Grohl rather than being on an island eating cheesecake and drinking whiskey.
I'm sure he'd come on the island for a bit before you were departed.
Yeah, he would. I'm sure.
Yeah.
If there was free booze. Absolute legend.
What's he going to pick you up in?
Speedboat all day long. Yeah. He's going to crash it on the way back. 100%. Yeah. Like he's definitely crashing it, but that is a human I would adore to spend time with.
Oh,
it
you
just
said
seems like
you said human. Maybe you're suggesting that we can pick non-humans. I mean, after we've been talking about in the news the last week or so with aliens in the US.
Hey, it's safer to say human because of pronouns, etc.
That's
So
true.
I always play it safe.
Yeah,
on that
is
level.
Dave Grohl really a he? You never know.
Yeah,
You don't know how he
they.
identifies.
He's they.
Yeah.
But they rock my world. Yeah, what like I think you could see a genuine nice guy. Shines through everything. Have you seen the clips of him teaching or drumming off against, is it Nancy? Out of this world.
He's done loads of drum offs, and I used to play the drums when I was younger. So I've watched quite a lot of YouTube videos a long time ago about very good young drummers.
Yeah.
And there's loads of young drummers that will blow your mind. It's just that one because they were in a video with David Grohl.
I've also said Nancy. It's Nandy. I'm having a fucking shocker. Nandy Bushell.
Oh, you're swearing loads on the pod these days, Mike. Now you said it's okay to swear, you're just letting it all hang out. Like,
hey,
I've just say goodbye to this family-friendly notion that we.
I've put it as adult only now. I've given up.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, every other pod I listen to swears, so I'm like, why am I trying to stop? I'll try and rein it in a little bit. It's a lot. I haven't dropped a C-bomb.
You haven't dropped the C-bomb yet. No. That's true. Yeah.
But yeah. So
yeah.
Dave Grohl.
So there you are. So you're going to get picked up by Dave Grohl. So recap for you. You are having New York cheesecake.
Yep.
You're on this island for a month. You have New York cheesecake. You've got unlimited Aaron 10. You're listening to Oasis.
Yeah.
Band very dear to your heart, particularly a track called Whatever, number 24 on iTunes. And you're going to get picked up by Dave Grohl. I have to say the most exciting part of that to me it's a toss-up between Dave Grohl and I'd probably say
it's just Dave Grohl, isn't it?
Dave Grohl, then the Aaron 10, then the cheesecake, then Oasis. That's
really?
where I'd put them in. I like Oasis, but I'm not in love with them. No, not really.
Have you gone back and listened to it recently?
Yeah, loads of times in my life. I think they're a great band, but I just don't hold them that dear in my heart.
I think because I missed it at the time, I was a Blur boy.
Right. I don't hold them that dear in my heart either.
Yeah, so I was 100% Blur and naysayed Oasis, being a sort of rubbish guitarist at the time, thought I was cool. Didn't give Oasis the time of day. And it's only then when you sort of grow up and you go back and listen to it and you sort of realise where they came from and how they got to where they were.
Oh, if you watch the documentary and stuff, obviously. But all bands have great documentaries and you know, how they got to that place. It isn't just them.
I just love the fact they kick 7 bells of shit out of each other and all the time and just absolutely got on it and just, their lack of care for anything outside of that band was, quite unique and...
Did have a terrible drummer as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, I would get picked up by... And I thought about this, and I thought there's so many cool things I could say. Now, there's plenty of people who are dead, so I can't say them.
Well, you can.
You
go back on a ghost train.
No, because, but I'm just saying, if I would pick someone that's alive... But if this person wasn't dead, I would have said Lemmy out of Motorhead. Okay. But he's dead, sadly. But there's a great connection between him and Dave Grohl because they got on really well. But I would have said him, but he's not. So I'm going completely just on like gut on what's going on mostly at the moment. I'm going to get picked up by Conor McGregor.
Oh, fucking hell.
on his Lamborghini yacht. And he's totally loaded up on proper 12, and I'm just going to get absolutely hammered on the way back. In fact, I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it home.
No.
It's going to be carnage.
He's going to try and offer you, he's going to throw out your Ben Nevis and try and make you drink proper 12, and then kick the smoke out of you, and then throw you overboard.
I'm just going to drink.
And he knows people that'll bury you, mate. Not that you need to bury someone to see.
Hang on, what? But he's just cruising past the island, and he's like, all right there, do you need a hand? And I'm like, yeah, I could do
Duncan, jump on the boat, Duncan. Drink my proper fucking 12, it's shit. And you're Ben Nevis shite, this is great. My accent switched a bit.
I'm not doing any impressions. I'm just saying that boat looks wild, right? So I'm going to be on the Lambo yacht. That thing goes like lightning fast. what an exhilarating journey back as you're off your nuts on proper 12.
I'd prefer to get a dinghy than drink proper 12. I'd get a dinghy being told off by my mum than have to go on a yacht and watch Conor McGregor be a
So many
twat.
questions I'd ask that man if I met him. Anyways, I think that would be my choice. I think that there's I wish I picked somebody cooler now, like Bill Murray or something like that. But it's done now. I've said it. I'm just going to go with that. I don't even care. I'm just going to get picked up. It's going to be like, oh God. See, I could have said Charlie Sheen, but he's done and dusted these days. So you see, that's the thing.
Bill Murray would have been class because of all the the Suntory ads and stuff he's
so
done.
old now. Bill Murray's so old though now. I mean, what?
Yeah.
He's like, he'd probably just be like getting me to help him to the toilet. Or
What if you said Bill Murray in 2005?
No, because that's not the point. It's like, we didn't say it's a moment in time you can pick any time in history. What we said is, you're on a desert island now. You get to pick a pudding, you get to pick a whiskey, you get to listen to some music, and you get to pick up by somebody. So there's no point saying somebody that's like passed away or about to pass away. You know, at least with Conor, he's proven that he can navigate his boat across the waters. Yeah. I'm not even sure you're going to make it back with Dave Grohl, right?
We're not, but we're going to go up in flames.
Isn't he a pilot? Usually, there's someone I didn't think about.
Tom Cruise.
No, I should have said the fella from Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson. He's a pilot. He could have picked him up on his plane.
Didn't he the antique dealer with a really good tan? Oh, David Dickinson. Sorry, wrong one.
Hey, right. David Dickinson would be a shout as well. You're expecting Bruce, and Dave turns up with his tan.
Yeah. Where's the life vest? Oh, they're under there. No, it's full of cash.
We're about to get off. He's like, no, we're gonna have a hunt around the island for some bargains first.
We've got Gladys from Northampton. She's going to join you, and you're going to go around the island and find what you can and try and sell it at market for a loss. I don't know why he's northern either, because he's not.
All right. Well, let us know if you were stuck on a desert island for a month, and you could have. Let us know on social media, and you could have one pudding. We're going to say pudding, not dessert. Yeah. One pudding, one whiskey, one album, and get picked up by somebody after 30 days. Who would it be? What would it be?
You can say me. It's fine.
Blame Mike. It's so disappointing.
Hello. Don't worry. I'll wait for the next one.
They get picked up, and they get in the boat with you, and you'd have like a cassette player, like an A-track, as you say in America, and they just put Oasis in. They just go, "This track's cool. Whatever. You ever heard of it, Mike?"
Apparently not.
All right. Thanks for listening as always. I think in the upcoming pods, we're probably going to talk about Springbank and maybe even calories and whiskey. And you know us, we just kind of make stuff up as we go along, but we'll see. We'll let people know what the topic's going to be. Plus, we have actually got guests lined up. We're just trying to do one guest a month at the moment.
Yeah. Just so you got a bit more of us time. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening. As always, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and all the socials at Honest to a Malt. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, bye, bye.
They told me I have 12 seconds to tell you all about proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Any questions?
Fuck off.